Good afternoon, and I am back. Jeff Hood, I think it's been 5 weeks, I've lost count, that I have not been here. Normally on Wednesdays, but now I'm on Thursdays, and we'll talk about that here in a few minutes. But this is the Marc McMain Show. Again, I'm Jeff Hood sitting in, and we're going to be like the weather. We're going to start off hot, and we're going to go to the hotline and get our good friend from Winder Barrel Speedway, one of our longtime advertisers, and just a great place to watch some dirt track racing on Saturday nights. And that is Mr. Woody Canup, the voice of Winder Barrel Speedway. Woody, are you staying cool out there today?
Yes, sir, I am. It's a hard job to do, man. And my boss man in Napa Auto Parts right here in Winder keeps us cool. And for anybody that needs a cool spot, come see us and buy some parts from us.
Well, there you go. Go see Mr. Woody over there at Napa and not Winder, Monroe. Or was it Winder?
Or Monroe. I'm in Winder, but he owns Monroe and Winder.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yes, sir.
All right. Well, we wanted to get you on because big race coming up this Saturday. But let's go back to last Saturday because there were some thunder boomers in our area Saturday afternoon, and had in some areas pop-up showers, and that can be good or bad if you're trying to get a clay oval dirt track ready for some hot racing on a Saturday night. But I understand you guys got your show in last Saturday.
Yes, sir. Everything went good. We had a little spot of rain. It wet the dirt for us a little bit, so it kind of helped out. And a lot of people are timid when it comes to that deal. They're like, oh, it's going to rain. Should we go? Should we not go?
Yeah.
So they're stuck on the fence, and being a promoter, you try to push. Hey, we haven't it. But a little rain right now won't hurt anybody.
Right. Well, good deal. So let's talk about this Saturday because it is going to be a historic day in our country as we celebrate the 250th anniversary of the United States. And you guys have a big show, but I love you have the ad on your Facebook page, Diversified Systems, Winder Barrel Speedway, 250 years later, freedom is still loud, celebrating the Baja Way, and, of course, the place to be on Saturday nights at Winder Barrel Speedway, which, by the way, was established way back in 1964. Amazing, absolutely amazing.
Correct.
But tell us about this Saturday night, because I know this is one people have had circled on their calendar for a long time.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We originally had a demo derby scheduled for this deal, and we had to move it back because we had so many calls coming in wanting other divisions to add for this weekend.
Okay.
And we're actually fortunate enough to have the Young Guns, that's a new division for us and racing period. It's kind of like starter. It's an intermediate deal where ages 12 to 16 can get into racing, and they'll be on the docket this Saturday, as well as front wheel drive pull cars. We have a division for those, and we also have a Crown Vic class.
Okay.
So we got 9 divisions this Saturday night. Big show.
That is a big show. Now
and we also have a golf cart / ATV. We're going to do like a parade lap, a couple parade laps.
Okay.
And some sponsors have gotten together and sponsored that deal for $250 because America turns 250. So the best dressed golf cart ATV will win $250 by fan vote.
Wow. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Very good. So the just to kind of get the logistics out of the way, gates open at 4, and racing starts at 7. Are there hot laps or anything?
Hot laps, yes, sir.
What time will that get underway?
Hot laps start at 7 o'clock.
That starts at 7. Okay.
We'll have to be on time Saturday because with 9 divisions, we normally have 6 mostly. So we got 3 more different ones that we don't normally have.
Yeah.
So we'll have to be a time crunch Saturday.
Wow. Okay. So as they say, keep the show moving. And,
yes, sir. Get there early and stay hydrated.
Yeah. Now you'll still have the fireworks, I take it.
I think something's going to go down. I just don't know. I don't know what the details is for that, but it's 4th of July, so you never know.
Oh, yeah.
They might happen on or off the racetrack.
Well, I think that's safe to say.
Either way.
Yeah, either way, you're going to get your money's worth. Now, with a big show like this, the trackside parking you can actually pull your vehicle down, and if you got a truck, back it in and get a bird's eye view of the racetrack. And I'm assuming with it being first come, first serve, that's going to be a popular portion of the being able to watch the races this Saturday.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Everybody loves that trackside parking because you can let the tailgate down, drop the tailgate, and pull the cooler out, pull the grill, and as long as it's not glass, you're more welcome to bring anything right there on trackside.
Wow. Okay.
Yes, sir.
All right. So now mark your calendar. It is literally right around the corner, just a couple of days away. Winder Barrel Speedway, Diversified Systems presenting Freedom is Still Loud. There's going to be a big celebration of our country's birthday with 9 divisions. And as Woody said, they normally have 6, so there's 9. You're going to really have an outstanding time. I hope to get over there. Gates open at 4. Racing starts at 7, and they are going to be hot and heavy Saturday night. And I think that's 330 Donahue Road. Is that right, Woody?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right. Well,
Yes,
Woody,
sir.
the voice you will hear booming over that PA will be this gentleman, Woody Knupp, and Saturday night, the place to be, the greatest show on dirt, Winder Barrel Speedway. And, hey, Woody, thanks for taking a few minutes out of your Thursday to speak with us.
Yes, sir. Anytime.
All right.
Thank y'all for being a continued sponsor.
Yes, sir. Thank you. And, man, I love stock car racing. I grew up on it, and I've been to Winder a bunch. And I'll see as I continue to recover from my injuries if I'm able to stay awake and have a little energy to get over there and check out what's going to be an outstanding night of racing this Saturday as we celebrate America 250 over at Winder Barrel Speedway, 330 Donahue Road.
So fun.
Yeah.
Anytime you go by there, you just see the lights, and
Yeah.
I mean, it just draws you in. You see the crowds, the kids having fun.
Oh, yeah.
Nobody's on their phones.
Right.
You know, so it's a lot of fun.
Well,
so.
if you've never been, I have one tip. Don't wear white clothing because
No.
when you leave, it won't be white.
No.
This is a dirt track, folks, and I can also give you another tip. Don't wash your car before you go because you're going to be washing it on Sunday afternoon.
Oh, right, yeah.
The dust will be flying, but that's
So
fine.
fun. It's
It
so
really
fun.
is. You can feel it. You feel it literally with that dust in the air, and the dust doesn't bother me. I've been over there many times, and but if that's a problem, get some goggles or something, and you'll be good to go.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So Chastity, real quick, on Memorial Day, which is just over 5 weeks ago, I was involved in a serious bicycle accident. I was hit by a motorist. I was following all my safety guidelines, and I'm not sure what this guy was doing, but I'll leave it at that. And I got hit hard, and by the grace of God,
Yes.
I'm sitting here today, not dead, not paralyzed, but beat up, still nursing some injuries, but on the road to recovery.
Well, you
So,
look wonderful. You look
Well, thanks.
wonderful, and we have been praying so much for you. The listeners have been praying. So God is good.
yeah.
Because, I mean, we are witnessing it right now.
Oh, yeah. Well, have felt the prayers and have heard, the outpouring of support and thoughts and all that, and text messages, a lot of mail through the postal service, kind of the old-fashioned way. And so, yeah, but it's good to be back here at WMOQ. So thanks again to Woody Knupp for opening our show this morning as he tells us about, told us what's going to happen at Winder Barrel Speedway this Saturday. But we're going to step away and take a break, and then, there's going to be a lot more happening this Saturday on July the 4th, including some big activities coming up in Monroe. And we're going to find out all about that right after this. You're listening to True Country 92.3.
It's family fun every Saturday night at the Winder Barrel Speedway in Winder. Gates open at 4 p.m. and the green flag drops at 7 p.m. Don't miss the excitement of the greatest show on dirt as drivers buckle up, get door to door, and bumper to bumper that take that checkered flag. It's the Winder Barrel Speedway, 330 Donahue Road in Winder. Call 770-867-6327 or go to winderbarrelspeedway.com. It's the place to be on Saturday night.
Since 1979, the Tim Stewart Funeral Home family has been caring for families in their time of need. The Tim Stewart family pledges to honor your loved one with excellence in service, compassion, and will guide you in making the right decisions. To learn more about the Tim Stewart Funeral Home family, stop in at one of their 3 locations in Monroe, Loganville, and Lawrenceville. Call 770-267-2594 or go to stewardfh.com.
John's Supermarket in downtown Monroe is proud to serve the Walton County community for over 50 years. 3 generations of the Thompson family offering the freshest produce, quality meats, everyday essentials, and now featuring Bistro South, a quick service restaurant with freshly made Southern cuisine and ready-to-heat gourmet meals. Always proud to support local farmers and suppliers, John's Supermarket has the best meat in town and tons of weekly specials. Stop by and see them for all the ingredients, meals, snacks, sweets, gifts, and everything in between you need.
I chuckled at a cartoon that showed a news conference by a United States senator who announced that he was divorcing his family so he could spend more time with politics. We may laugh, but the truth is many people make that statement every day. Maybe not with words, but with their actions. In fact, if a politician retires from his work to spend more time with his family, it becomes the lead story, met with cynicism on the evening news, while the one who rejects his family advancing his career is commonplace. God tells us we should work hard to the glory of God, but He has clearly shown that we must have priorities. A relationship with God first, and family follows that. What does your focus tell you about your priorities? The Bible says that we have brought nothing into this world and we can take nothing out of it. It's good to focus on the things that last, like putting God first, and then family, and then people all around us that God loves. This is Bryant Wright, speaking right from my heart.
Visit rightfromtheheart.org and click television to watch our TV spots.
Welcome back. It's the Marc McMain Show on a blistering hot Thursday afternoon, but hey, it is July, and we are in the South.
Yeah.
This is Jeff Hood, and it's a pleasure to welcome to the show Sandy Daniels from the City of Monroe, Main Street Director. And she's actually here in the studio. Sandy, thanks for coming out.
Thanks for having me. Good afternoon.
Yeah, good afternoon. And it's great to meet you. I heard you yesterday on Les Lane's show, and I got in my car at the end of the interview, and I'm like, darn, I missed it.
Let's see if we can catch you up to speed.
Yeah, because as Les Lane likes to say, it's going to be a big whoop-de-doo this Saturday.
Yes.
As we celebrate our country's 250th birthday, and that will be happening in Monroe, and it's going to be a day long and into the night, just a list of activities. So kind of kick us off and tell us what's going to happen in Monroe this Saturday.
Okay. Beginning early, we'll have the market vendors that will be ready to roll at 9 a.m. We've got about 85 vendors and food trucks coming into town. They will be set up on Court Street right there by the historic courthouse, Midland Avenue, and then on Washington. Make sure you wear good walking shoes, keep yourself hydrated. But then at 10 o'clock, we've got the wonderful Madison Chambers. She will be singing the national anthem for us, followed by the reading of the Declaration of Independence by David Dickinson. David's a superstar there in downtown Monroe. And then we'll have the Yargo Concert Band playing their patriotic melodies right there on the courthouse steps. So that kind of puts the courthouse in a nutshell. We'll have the Daughters of the American Revolution, the Sons of the American Revolution, with some period dress and their period paraphernalia that they can show the children. It'll be very interesting. And then at 10:30, we'll start the Great American Pie Baking Showdown.
Fun.
I believe we have 16 pies entered.
Okay.
So not only will we get to judge those pies, but we'll get to taste those pies too. So if you're coming to the event, make sure you get to taste a pie.
Yeah, I imagine those are going to be huge too.
Oh, it's going to be a great
That way everybody can
ordeal.
have a little sample.
Yes.
So get there early, right?
Right.
Yes.
And then at 11 o'clock, we'll kick off the Children's Sparkles and Spokes Patriotic Bike Parade. There'll be great prizes for originality, patriotism, just something for the little tykes to do. So Mom and Dad, dress those bikes up, dress those babies up in the red, white, and blue, and bring them out. It's a perfect picture moment, and it just screams Americana in downtown Monroe.
Especially kids in parades.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
And then, all the patriotic songs and the outfits. And
it's going to be
so much to
good.
see.
Memories
Yes,
are going to be
absolutely.
made. And we'll do that. This event is actually from 9 to 2.
Okay.
We specifically wanted to break that day up so that you can go home and have the afternoon with your family, not out in the scorching heat, get some rest. And then we're back at 9:30 with a huge fireworks display.
Okay.
And I think WMOQ.
You don't take my thunder.
No? Okay.
WMOQ is going to sync with us live with a patriotic show that night. So we're
great
real
idea,
excited.
Sandy. That is amazing.
I think that's just going to add so much to our fireworks show.
So fun.
Yes.
So excited about that. And being able to see, because, at Christmas you see all the lights synchronized with the houses, and it's such a big deal. And it's so fun to go visit those houses. Like, you make it a point to...
Right.
So this will be like a little piece of that. So a little Christmas in July, as they say.
Well, it is our first time, so bear with us as we learn as we go.
That's right.
I think it's going to be a great addition to the fireworks show.
And, another one of my favorite things, and I think about this every time I go by the courthouse there in Monroe, the front porch. It's such an inviting front porch. But all of the memories and all of the parades and all of the 4th of July festivities, just imagine if those rocking chairs could talk, right?
Oh, exactly,
Yes,
exactly.
yes.
We are so fortunate to have our
Absolutely.
historical
We are.
courthouse.
Yes.
I look at other cities that are not as fortunate or they've lost their courthouse. And with fire or what have you. And to have that courthouse as our heartbeat in downtown, it means so
Beautiful.
much. Yes.
I agree.
Yes.
That's my little thought every time I go by there.
Right.
So super
Good
excited.
memories made
That's
there.
right. Absolutely.
Monroe is such a heritage and families, generations of
Preserves.
families.
Yes.
And I just love to watch them make the memories with the new generations as they come along.
Well, speaking of the memories, I don't know about Chastity. I think this is a little before your time, but I remember as a child celebrating all day long back in 1976, the bicentennial.
Yes, the bicentennial.
And I'm as a kid, just soaking it in with all the memories that I was, coming my way almost 50 years ago now. And then, I'm like, will I ever make it to 250? And then lo and behold,
here we are.
Unless something happens in the next 48 hours, I will. And that's just amazing. And you brought up the memories, and especially for these kids like in the bike, event. That's so important that they carry that on. And a lot of them, I would say will probably be around for the next big one in 50 more years.
I don't think I'll be here for that one,
Yeah,
Jeff.
I don't know that I will be either. But
I sure am privileged to
We'll
have
be
joined.
here spiritually.
There you go.
So we'll watch from above.
I do remember the bicentennial.
Oh, yeah.
I remember what a big pomp and stance that was when I was a kid. And,
Yeah.
like you, didn't realize that I would be here for the 250th. So I'm grateful for that.
Well, I think as we celebrate, we have to stop and think this isn't just about having fun and fireworks, but it's like what it means in our freedom and living in this great country. And hopefully people are going to take that away from this, get out there and enjoy the day and the night. But remember what it's really all about.
And that's been a really special part for me in the planning of this event. We have collaborated with the Historical Society, the DAR, the SAR, the museum. Monroe Museum has played a huge part in this. If you've not visited the Monroe Museum, please make it a point to do that, especially if you're from here, grew up here, have children, grandchildren. Bring them over. That museum is notable. It is amazing. And historian Steve Brown, he'll be on a trolley tour Saturday morning running about Monroe, talking about houses and the history and churches and historical spots in town. It's going to be really good.
Yeah.
So I commend them. I thank them. I have to admit, I was a little intimidated when this all began because of the historical aspect of it. I was born and raised DeKalb County, Stone Mountain, and while it has a great, rich history, I never realized the history that Walton County has.
Oh, yeah.
We were the home to 7 governors. And
I did not know that.
Yes. So if you've been to the museum, you
Yeah,
would.
I need to
So
go.
I personally invite you to come out to the museum.
Okay.
But Monroe is rich,
Yeah.
rich in history, as is Walton County and Moynia Michael and the Poppy Lady, the history behind that. So being able to glean that during my process of planning this has been phenomenal. I learned so much.
And I love that Monroe just preserves all of that history for so many generations and just brings such great appreciation, especially when you see the families coming back with their families.
That's right.
And,
That's right.
And then speaking of the trolley, which who doesn't love a trolley, right?
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
it just screams fun and, you want to get on board. So that is Mr. Bob Furr.
That's right. It's
Yep.
Bob
Yeah.
from
So
Madison,
that's
and I
right.
thank him so much
Yes,
for
so-
considering to even do this
It's
for
gonna be
us.
so fun.
Yes.
Super excited. So Monroe's got a lot going on. So
Right.
you definitely
And
wouldn't want to miss it.
I do want to commend the city of Monroe and the administration. It is phenomenal to work for a forward-thinking, while we are very historical and very proud of the past, that administration is so forward-thinking. You think about generations to come. What's going to be attractive to those generations? And it's always in the forethought.
But we always have to give thanks to people like you, Miss Sandra, that, just goes above and beyond and
Well, thank you.
really appreciates the heritage of our community and the people and wanting to give back. So we're super excited and super grateful to have you as a part of our community and to have you here in the studio today.
It's my pleasure.
Yeah.
Anytime.
So we're talking to Sandy Daniels, Main Street Director, City of Monroe, and this is the Marc McMain Show. I'm Jeff Hood and Chastity Stewart on the air with you today. Now, an important question. With the bulk of the events happening from 9 to 2 and then the fireworks later in the evening, do you have any tips on parking for folks that are thinking there's going to be a lot of people there, which is wonderful, but people will probably want to know in advance, like any guidance or tips on where to park?
Okay, parking. Parking's always a topic. I would suggest in downtown we have several free parking lots. Please make sure when you choose your parking to notice if it is a paid parking lot or if it is a free parking lot. Parking at Wayne and Spring Street is free. Parking behind the Midland Avenue area over off of Lumpkin, some of that is paid parking. Just be aware when you're coming into town. If you go to our website at www.monroedowntown.com, there are parking maps there to give you some guidance. We have areas around town, businesses that have free parking, and with it being a holiday, that does open up quite a bit of parking in the area. City Hall, down at the north end of Broad Street, past Scoops, down that area, that is going to be free parking for the day.
Okay.
The Wayne Street parking lot down there right across from City Hall, that's free parking.
Okay.
So take advantage of that. The walk downtown is beautiful.
Oh, yeah.
The stores, all the retails, most of them will be open Saturday. So that'll give you another opportunity to eat and shop while you're downtown. Don't
Grab some
forget
ice
those
cream.
guys. That's
Yeah.
right.
Scoops.
That's right.
So one other question. So fireworks at the town green? Is
Oh,
that?
no, ma'am. No, ma'am.
okay.
That's going to be over at the Blaine Street station where our police department is. Blaine Street is Spring Street right before you hit 78 on that end of town.
Okay, okay.
That's a great viewing area down in there.
Yes,
Lots of good
absolutely.
parking areas there. But they will launch there and I believe you'll be able to see them for the majority of that area.
Oh, yeah.
On that
Perfect.
side of town.
Thank you.
Yes,
Thank you, Miss
yes.
Sandy.
And of course, we'll have the music playing in sync with the fireworks program. But Les and Mark are going to be there Saturday morning starting at 10 a.m., and they'll be there till 1 p.m. broadcasting live. And they will be set up at the downtown Monroe Historic Courthouse, and they'll be giving away some prizes, T-shirts, and some other goodies. So I'm glad that this station can be involved in more than just allowing you to come on and tell folks about it, but we'll actually have a presence there.
It's wonderful to have you guys as a partner, and I love the fact that we do have that option.
Yeah.
And it's such an easy relationship to join
Right.
together and bring our community together.
Yep.
So I'm grateful for you
Yes.
too. Thank
Well,
you.
we are so grateful for you, Miss Sandy, and thank you so much. And we are looking forward to a wonderful day and a wonderful evening.
Just stay hydrated.
That's right.
I will have EMT there, but we don't want to use them if we don't
No,
have to.
that's right.
So
Well, folks, this is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. Don't be laying on the sofa
That's
and
right.
like, it's kind of warm. I'm just going to watch TV. Don't do that this
Yes.
Saturday because you're going to miss out on making
Yes.
some memories.
this
So
is not your
yeah.
atypical festival in
Correct.
downtown Monroe.
that is right.
This is going to be a memory maker,
Yes.
and you don't want to miss it.
That's
Yes,
right.
Just exactly like you were speaking in 76.
Yeah.
During the bison. You still remember
I do.
that moment.
50
and you
years
had to
later.
Be a baby. Like,
Yeah, I was really small,
so,
but I
you
still
know,
remember.
That's right.
Yeah.
Oh, I was young.
Yeah.
I was real young.
I was real young too. So
Sweet
Yeah.
memories that last a lifetime. Priceless.
yeah. Well, Sandy, thanks so much for not only being on the air but coming in today to tell us about this big event. And I tell you, folks are revved up about it, and that'll be kicking off at 9 a.m. in Monroe this Saturday as we celebrate America's 250th birthday.
Stay tuned. Monroe has a lot more on the calendar for the
All
calendar
right.
year. I'll be back.
Thank
Excellent.
you. Thank
Well,
you.
thanks again, Sandy, and you have a good afternoon.
You too. Thank you, Jeff.
All right. Marc McMain Show with Jeff Hood and Chastity Stewart. We'll step away, take a break, and we've got another guest teed up, and we'll have him on the air here right after these messages on True Country 92.3.
Around here, there are four things folks hold close: faith, family, friends, and their Fords. That's what Loganville Ford is built on. We believe in treating people right, working hard, and standing behind every handshake. Because this isn't just where we sell cars, it's where neighbors help neighbors, and relationships matter more than numbers. Loganville Ford, built on faith, driven by family, surrounded by friends, and proud to represent Ford. LoganvilleFord.com.
Hey y'all, this is Bethany, owner of Willfully Guided Co. Boots and Western Apparel. From durable work boots built for long days to statement pieces ready for Saturday night and everything in between, we've got the brands that feel just right for everyone in the family. Stop by and see why we're your one-stop shop. Willfully Guided Co. Boots and Western Apparel is located at 116 South Broad Street, right in the heart of downtown Monroe. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok to keep up with all the fun events happening with Willfully Guided Co. and for previews of all of our newest merchandise.
The Madison Trolley Company is Morgan County's newest 5-star attraction. We offer historic Madison tours year-round, a haunted history experience in the fall, and our Madison Lights Christmas Tour and Mary Maddie Express Adventure for kids have become new holiday traditions. Our private charters add vintage charm to weddings and special occasions aboard a historic trolley by day, party trolley by night. Find us on the Madison Town Square or get on board by visiting madisontrolley.com or calling us at 706-997-1800.
It's family fun every Saturday night at the Winder Barrel Speedway in Winder. Gates open at 4 p.m. and the green flag drops at 7 p.m. Don't miss the excitement of the greatest show on dirt as drivers buckle up, get door to door, and bumper to bumper that take that checkered flag. It's the Winder Barrel Speedway, 330 Donahue Road in Winder. Call 770-867-6327 or go to winderbarrelspeedway.com. It's the place to be on Saturday night.
Welcome back to the Marc McMain Show. I tell you, there's a lot going on this Saturday here in our immediate area. Sandy Daniels told us what's going on in Monroe.
Yes.
And then Woody Canup told us about the big happenings Saturday night at Winder Barrow Speedway. Fireworks on and off the track, as they like to say over there. Going to be an outstanding night as we all celebrate America 250 on Saturday. Well, it's good to be back on the radio. And right now our next guest is a familiar voice on Friday nights during the fall. And that is my buddy John Wilson. And John, welcome to the show.
Well, hey, Jeff, it's good to be talking to you, and also glad to have you back in the studio. Hard to believe it's been, I think 5 weeks, and here you are back with us, and
that's right.
It's good to be back on the air with you.
Well, that's right. It was about 5 weeks ago, just over 5 weeks ago, and I was sailing through the air without a parachute and landed on the ground. But by the grace of God, I am back in the saddle, and I tell you, John, there is a lot going on this Saturday. And you are going to have what I'll call honor and privilege of running in what will be an historic event Saturday morning. And it's kind of always historic, but that is the Peachtree Road Race. But with it being America 250, and you've run this race before, but with it being America 250, that's going to be even more special.
Well, it definitely will be. This will be my 8th trip down Peachtree to 10th Avenue, and about the 3rd time I've actually trained for it, and I'm really looking forward to it. Jeff, I think it's one of the greatest 4th of July traditions our state has.
Yeah.
And it's something that I would encourage any Georgian to be a part of it in some capacity at some point in their life, whether it's actually running the race or volunteering with the track club or just going down and cheering on the runners. It's
right.
a great time. It gets started early before the sun gets up and the heat gets too bad. And it really is a fun time. And being down at the expo today, we got there at 9 a.m. when it opened early for track club members, and we thought we'd waltz right in, grab our number, get a couple T-shirts, and maybe get some free ice cream and head to the car. And that wasn't the case. When we got there at 9 o'clock, the line was all the way around Lennox, wrapped around Peachtree.
Wow.
And it took us the better part of 30 minutes just to get in the expo. But so then getting our numbers and getting the process started, a lot of great vendors out there. And if you got a chance, the expos today and tomorrow, a lot of great opportunities there to go just see what the Peachtree is all about.
Yeah. And really, it's great to run that race anytime. With it being the 4th of July, every time they start it, you feel that patriotism bubble up, and I know it's going to be even more so for you. And I think your wife's going to run it too. Is that right?
Yeah, Ashley's running it as well. This will be her second Peachtree. We did it together last year, and Jeff, you talk about that patriotism bubbling up. I was never much of an athlete. I always loved sports, but as far as being a participant in something goes, the Peachtree, when I first ran it in 2007. That was the first time I'd ever been in an event where they sang the national anthem, and the American flag was draped, and then they had a flyover, and I just remember how emotional it was to be a part of all that and to get to see that for the first time, and to know that I was about to go participate in this with 60,000 other people. You kind of had to get your emotions in check so you didn't come out of the gate way too fast and burn yourself up in the first couple of miles. But it really is, Jeff, just a true patriotic event. People waving flags. There's red, white, and blue everywhere, and there's people just cheering on, folks playing their trumpets all the way down the course. And it is an awful lot of fun, whether you're a runner like you, Jeff, I know you've run a couple marathons, you've trained a good bit, or you're just a novice and you're out there to walk it and have a good time. It's an event that I think is something every Georgian, like I said, needs to go see at some point in time.
Yeah, and it's one of those things, you always get the T-shirt, and a lot of times you're just like, oh my gosh, and yet another shirt. But the Peachtree Road Race I wouldn't put that in that bucket. I mean, that you get that T-shirt, that's something you want to hold on to.
It is, and this will be my 8th one this year. And, Jeff, the fun part about it is nobody knows what that T-shirt looks like until you cross the finish line right there at the very end. And so There's 4 selections every year. People get to submit their proposal for the T-shirt. It gets whittled down to 4, and then the AJC in the track club put out those options, and you go vote for which one. And when you cross the finish line, and you get handed a bottle of water, and you get to see what the shirt looks like. And this year I'm going to be in Wave F, so I'm a lot further up. I was in Y last year, the next to last. Nobody's going to be spoiling it for me before I get to the finish line. I'll get down there and get to see the shirt before folks start making their way back up Peachtree.
Very nice. Now, I think I've ran the Peachtree, I think 5 times. You have to have a plan, because this is not an out there and back race. You're basically running down Peachtree, and I think you said 10th Street. You start up at Lenox Square Mall, and I think you end at, is it Piedmont Park?
Yep, you end at Piedmont Park, right across from Midtown High School.
Yeah, so if you park at Lenox Square, if you've never ran it and you just show up and you park at Lenox Square, and then you get to the end, you're going to be like, or don't know the route, you're just like showing up. You're going to be like, I got to go 6.2 miles back to my car. So you got to have a plan. Some people, and I've done both, either park at the start or starting line or near the finish line, and then try to ride MARTA. But I take it you are a veteran, so you have a plan.
Well, I do on paper, and it's one that I'm trying to refine, and one that we'll make some decisions later on as to what that's exactly going to look like.
Yeah.
Every time I've ran it, except for one, I've gone to the Doraville MARTA station and taken, I guess that's the Gold Line, down to Lenox. And that's easy. That's not a problem. The problem becomes once you cross down there at Piedmont Park, to go back north, you've got to walk about another mile to get to the MARTA station that's going to take you back to Doraville. Right. And it's going to be crowded and everybody's sweaty, and I feel bad for the folks that rely on MARTA and have to use MARTA every day on July 4th, because there's about 50,000 sweaty people climbing on that train that are not in good mood. So we're trying to refine exactly what our plan will be for this Saturday. We've got our MARTA passes, and we're ready to rock and roll wherever it is that we end up parking.
All right. Well, it's going to be a lot of fun, and obviously me recovering from a bicycle accident, I will not be there, but John and I will be back home rooting you on and Ashley for, some good finishes, and I know you guys know to stay hydrated. Obviously, you talked about that, and we'll just have a wonderful time. So this is the Marc McMain Show. Jeff Hood sitting in for Mark, and also Chastity Stewart manning the board for us. And we're talking to John Wilson, and you hear him along with me on Friday nights. And John, high school football coverage. How long was last year 4 for us?
Yeah, last year was year 4 for us.
Yeah.
It's hard to believe now, Jeff. This will be half a decade coming up this season.
Yeah. And we hope to have an announcement soon about, how we're going to have high school football on the air starting, next month. Hard to believe. We're July 2nd, and high school football kicks off. I think it's the 3rd or week in August or thereabouts. But, John, we're going to take a break, and what we want to do when we come back is to talk about our area schools. And there was this is reclassification year, meaning some schools may have jumped to a higher classification. Many of them are in different regions, and we're going to tell you who's who and who's in which region, and kind of get John's thoughts on that and maybe the upcoming season. So stick around. We'll do that right after these messages. You're listening to the Marc McMain Show on True Country 92.3.
Join us, True Country Q92.3 in downtown Monroe, as we celebrate America's 250th birthday in hometown style. Kicking off on July 4th at 9 a.m., check out Court Street for farmers market favorites, food trucks, live entertainment, and so much more. Then, when the sun goes down, gather on the north end of town for a spectacular fireworks show synchronized to music heard only on Q92.3 at 9:30. Check out Downtown Monroe on social media for all the details details.
Hey y'all, this is Bethany, owner of Willfully Guided Co. Boots and Western Apparel. From durable work boots built for long days to statement pieces ready for Saturday night and everything in between, we've got the brands that feel just right for everyone in the family. Stop by and see why we're your one-stop shop. Willfully Guided Co. Boots and Western Apparel is located at 116 South Broad Street, right in the heart of downtown Monroe. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok to keep up with all the fun events happening with Willfully Guided Co. and for previews of all of our newest merchandise.
The Madison Trolley Company is Morgan County's newest 5-star attraction. We offer historic Madison tours year-round, a haunted history experience in the fall, and our Madison Lights Christmas Tour and Mary Maddie Express Adventure for kids have become new holiday traditions. Our private charters add vintage charm to weddings and special occasions aboard a historic trolley by day, party trolley by night. Find us on the Madison Town Square or get on board by visiting madisontrolley.com or calling us at 706-997-1800.
It's family fun every Saturday night at the Winder Barrel Speedway in Winder. Gates open at 4 p.m. and the green flag drops at 7 p.m. Don't miss the excitement of the greatest show on dirt as drivers buckle up, get door to door, and bumper to bumper that take that checkered flag. It's the Winder Barrel Speedway, 330 Donahue Road in Winder. Call 770-867-6327 or go to winderbarrelspeedway.com. It's the place to be on Saturday night.
It's a Thursday afternoon, and it is warm outside, so stay hydrated if you're out and about. And this is the Marc McMain Show, Jeff Hood and Chastity Stewart, on this beautiful afternoon, again, warm. But we're delighted to have John Wilson on the line. And, John, we talked as we went to break about reclassification, which also means some teams are just going to be in different regions, obviously, if they get bumped up or down classification-wise. And the makeup of some of these regions are going to look a whole lot different. So, John, what we're going to do, I've got the list of our listening area, and I'll go through and read each region that impacts our listening area, the high schools, and kind of get your thoughts. So we'll start off up at the top. We're back to 7A. So, well, we'll explain, but 7A is the top, the big boys. And then if you drop down to 6A, in our listening area, we're going to have a bunch of teams in Region 8, 6A, and that is including Appalachia, Cedar Shoals, Clark Central, Jackson County, Loganville, and Walnut Grove. What a slew of teams. There's a total of 8. Habersham Central and Mountain View will also be in there. But, John, man, I mean, there's so much meat on the bone right here because you've got Cedar Shoals and Clark Central jumping up to 6A and some other teams. And, I mean, they're probably familiar with one another, but, boy, they're all going up to 6A, though.
Yeah, you know, a lot of familiar names and people that have faced off against each other. But like you said, Jeff, making that jump. And to go back to what you said about there now being 7A classifications, essentially what ended up happening for a lot of schools in our listening area is they moved up one notch on the belt. So Clark Central had been in 5A, now they're 6. North Oconee, we'll talk about them later. They've gone from 4 to 5A. But it's really kind of jostled a lot of these teams around, and now you've got this interesting makeup here, Jeff, like you were saying, Cedar Shoals, you know, Walnut Grove, Hab Central, Clark Central, Loganville, Jackson County, and Appalachia all together. You know, Jeff, you can kind of throw a blanket over that region, and you're going to cover everybody in one swoop. There's nobody, I don't think, that's going to really just run away with that region. Jackson County maybe having the best shot. Corey Mobbs' crew had a tremendous year last year. You know, playoff run at 9-1 during the regular season. Their only loss coming to Jefferson. And they've got some key pieces to replace, and they're trying to reload. But, Jeff, out of that region, that one, Jackson County's the one that stands out. But, you know, Loganville's going to be in the second year of that current coaching staff. It'll be interesting to see what jump they take. And then, you know, Clark Central has just been Mr. Consistent under David Perno since Coach Perno's come on. And, you know, Coach is battling some health issues right now and working through that, but he's done a great job of assembling a staff that really understands that tradition that the Gladiators have.
Yeah. And I would agree with you. This one, I'd say Jackson County is probably going to be the front runner, but the rest of them, it's going to be wide open, and really a lot of fun to week to week to see where those standings stack up.
Yeah, I don't. Like I said, I don't know if there's anybody that's just going to run away with it. Now, Jackson County certainly, I think, would be the odds-on favorite.
Yep.
But, Jeff, Hab Central's been very competitive. Benji Lavender's done a great job up there the last several years. And so it'll be interesting to see kind of how they play into it. And like we said, Loganville is kind of the wild card. We don't know a whole lot about what they're going to be this year. There's been a lot of movement, but, the Red Devils typically they've been kind of pesky. Even last year when they didn't win a whole bunch, I think they won one game the entire year. Jeff, you and I covered them once or twice, and it was games that they were in all the way.
Oh,
they
yeah,
played a brand of football that gave them a sporting chance, and they stayed competitive. And at first, when you're in a program that hasn't had a lot of success lately, you've got to learn to compete, and then you learn to finish, and then you learn to win.
Right.
And so I think Loganville learned how to compete last year. Now they've got to work on finishing and winning the game.
Yeah, absolutely. So it'll be a lot of fun to see how the Red Devils fare in football, as well as all these other teams in the higher classification. Okay, you mentioned North Oconee. They were Quad A. Now they're in 5A. And, John, they are going to be in Region 8 5A, which will include East Forsyth, Flowery Branch, Jefferson, the Dragons, Johnson and Gainesville, Madison County, the Red Raiders, and the Winder Barrel Double G Bulldogs, and, of course, North Oconee. How do you handicap that region?
Well, it's kind of interesting here, Jeff. Jefferson, it's weird to say that Jefferson's the wild card, but they're one of the schools in the state that made the largest jump. They moved up 2 classifications from 3A to 5A. And Coach Nolan's had the Dragons in the state championship game the last 2 years. They've had a tremendous run, 4 consecutive region titles since Coach Nolan showed up in J-Town. And so it's going to be interesting to see what they have. Not Sammy Brown, but Max Brown, Sammy's younger brother, will be coming back from a knee injury. It'll be interesting to see where he's at in his recovery and what he can do, a two-way player, a linebacker and running back, much like his brother. They've got a corner that's committed to Michigan State, and they've got some big athletic kids. They've got to make a replacement quarterback. Running back is going to be kind of a revolving, kind of by committee, I would say. But, North Oconee as well, Jeff, we've seen them an awful lot the last 4 years. State champs 2 years ago, 4 consecutive region titles for Tyler Arndt and the Titans. And they've got some key holes to fill. They've got Kamari Brooks that they've lost. They've lost Dallas Dickerson. They've lost Harrison Faulkner at quarterback, and that's an awful lot to try to replace. Now, North has had an outstanding 9th grade and JV squad, and now that talent is coming up to the varsity realm. And what can they do now when the lights come on? And something the Titans have working in their favor is they kind of played with some pretty large leads the last couple of years. And so those kids have gotten a little bit of experience on Friday nights, starting to know what that feels like. And, Jeff, we're going to know right out the bat what North Oconee has. They start the year in the Hog Mountain Bowl, but then Coach Arndt really stepped up that out-of-region scheduling. They host Stockbridge. They host Clark Central. They go to Jackson County, and they host Calhoun. And so that's a pretty stout 5-game stretch to open the year, and so they're going to be pretty well battle-tested by the time region play rolls around in October.
Well, there's at least one poll already out. Matt Stewart, familiar member of the media that covers high school football in Georgia, has in 5A has Cartersville number 1 and North Oconee number 2 and Jefferson number 6. So we'll see how that lands. But as we roll along and the new Quad A, as I call it, or 8A, and in Region 8 Quad A, local players will include Monroe area and Oconee County and their foes. Some of these are kind of familiar with these. It looks like they just moved that region up for the most part. Cherokee Bluff, East Hall, East Jackson, West Hall, and then Houston is going to play non-varsity starting in 2027. But, John, these teams are very familiar with one another.
They are. This is one region where the coaches aren't going to have to go watch a whole bunch of new tape. They're going to know each other pretty well by the time they come around and they play each other. And so there's going to be a lot of familiarity. East Jackson making a reappearance in that region. When I was coaching at Oconee, my last year in 2021, East Jackson joined the region with us, and so now they come back into that region, like you said, East Hall, West Hall, Monroe area, and Cherokee Bluff. A lot of familiar faces, and Jeff, you really kind of feel like it's going to be Bluff and Monroe area and Oconee, probably going to be the top three in that region. Throw a blanket over them. Yeah. And much like the last 2 years, it's going to come down to a couple plays here and there to decide where that region crown ends up at the end of the year.
Yeah. So it's going to be competitive, and I know we're going to be covering Monroe area and Oconee County along the way. And, in fact, John just mentioned Oconee County, North Oconee. Our plan is to cover the Hog Mountain Bowl in August to kick off the season. So as we move along, we got a few more minutes here on the show. In AAA, 8 AAA, Morgan County moves up from AA to AAA. And, John, Morgan County somehow for several years wound up in an Augusta region, and then they wind up in, I'll call it the LaGrange region. But now they're going to be kind of in what I would say is a more appropriate fit. Teams that I think geographically kind of fit the mold more for the Bulldogs down in Madison. And that's going to be 8 AAA coming up this fall. Elbert County, Franklin County, Hart County, Hebron Christian, Lumpkin County, Stevens County, and the Morgan County Bulldogs.
Well, this is going to be an awful lot of fun to watch this region, Jeff. And, you could throw a dart at this one every Friday night and find a heck of a ball game to go cover once they get into region play. And the Bulldogs are going to have to make the trip up to Elberton and play in the Granite Bowl, that famous Granite Bowl in the first weekend of October. And Coach Clint Jenkins has done a tremendous job. It's been a lot of fun to watch him. His teams are incredibly physical. They're very fundamentally sound. They're very well coached. And they play with a certain edge to them that can be hard to match. And it takes a little bit for teams to adjust to having to play a team like that. Kind of reminds me of some of those teams I got to coach with Coach Noland at Oconee that we had so much success with. And now he's going to have his work cut out for him. There's a lot of talent walked across the stage on graduation night for the Bulldogs. At quarterback, Davis Strickland, he's gone to West Georgia. Running back, Christian Montfort, Coach Jenkins' son, Brody Jenkins, has graduated. I believe he's going to Army to play. I could be wrong about that. But
there's
a lot of...
Yeah, Todd Tillery, who's a receiver, he's going to be going over to Auburn as a pitcher.
Right, to play baseball. Yeah. And so you take a look, and then, you've got some big guys along the lines. And so Coach Jenkins is going to have – there's going to be a lot of holes to fill, but once again, he's had a strong JV program, and he's been able to work guys in a little bit on Friday nights and get them those experiences. So when they have to go out there and perform now as an upperclassman, they're not deer in the headlights. And so it'll be interesting to see. You take a look at the Bulldogs' non-region schedule. They start the year with Madison County. They go to Eastside. They play Oconee County. They go to Mountain View. And so those are 4, Mountain View being a higher classification out of Gwinnett. Those are 4 good starts for the Bulldogs where they can kind of get their footing and get their teeth into some competition. And, Jeff, real quick, I know we're getting a little short on time. Those non-region schedules are going to be important. We talked about North Oconee taking a step up in their scheduling, Morgan County doing the same as well, because playoff is now for single A through 7A, including the private schools, all done by power rankings.
Yeah.
And the only teams guaranteed to make the playoffs are going to be the 8 region champions. And then after that, it is strictly off power rankings. So you could theoretically finish second in a region, but if your ranking falls below the cutoff, you may not make the playoffs.
Oh, wow. Well, every game counts. Okay, let's move along quickly. 4AA, Jasper County, Putnam County, and Social Circle, familiar teams in our area. They're going to be in sub-region A of 4AA with Glen Hills and Jefferson County. What are your thoughts specifically on Social Circle and Putnam County?
Well, Putnam County had a real strong year last year. We covered their game with Social Circle. It was an exciting game where the Redskins came back from a 3-score deficit in the second half and won the game. Jasper County will be introducing a new head coach as their previous head coach has gone to take the East Jackson job.
And so Social Circle, though, out of that area has been kind of the model of consistency the last several years under Rob Patton, coming away with a region title, the first one in 20 years, just a couple years ago. And so it's going to be interesting to see kind of how this goes. You know, Jeff, at that single A, double A level, there's always so much turnover, such small classes, that it can be hard to plug those holes, and depth becomes a real issue. So it's going to be interesting to see how those three, Jasper, Putnam, and Social, I would expect those three to be the three teams competing there in that region out of Double A. And it's, once again, Jeff, we're going to see the Redskins probably a time or two on our broadcast schedule this year. It's always an exciting brand of football. And for whatever reason, whenever we go to Redskins Stadium, it always comes down to the final second and then plus some, because we've seen some overtime thrillers.
We have. Okay, real quick, two more to go. 8AA, Athens Academy, Commerce, Oglethorpe County, Prince Avenue, Providence Christian, Rabun County. I would imagine Prince stands out above the rest, but, you know, we'll see what Commerce and Athens Academy can pull off.
Yeah, ACAD's been very strong under Coach Alexander. Once again, another model of consistency. It's going to be interesting what Commerce does in year two under Lenny Gregory. 1-9 a year ago. They abandoned, you know, the triple and the wing T, and they've gone spread. And what exactly are the Tigers going to look like in year two?
All right, last one in our area, Class 8 in Single A, Greene County over in Greensboro, and the Lake Oconee Academy team out on the lake, and they're going to be in the same region with Lincoln County, Towns County. Well, Towns County's playing non-region. Warren County, Washington Wilkes, and then Woody Gap playing non-region. But that's going to be interesting. I mean, Greene County, we'll see. They've had problems getting guys out. Numbers have been better lately. Lake Oconee Academy's impressed. Lincoln County sitting over there in Lincolnton. They'll be a threat. And then, of course, Warren County, kind of up and down. But thoughts on that one?
Well, it'll be interesting to see what happens with Greene County. They had a coaching change over the offseason. There were some legal issues that popped up. Their previous head coach went under investigation, and there was a change there. And so what are the Tigers going to have? Not been a lot of consistency out of Greensboro here the last couple of years with coaches. They're kind of the wild card right there. But, they're always going to be, that's a football community, and they love their Tigers, and they're going to be ready to rock and roll. Lincolnton, it's hard to go into Lincolnton and find a win. Lincoln County's been one of those special places going all the way back to the Garrison Hearst days and even before, Jeff. So it'll be a fun region to watch. Once again, those single-A regions, you never know exactly what you're going to get year in and year out with graduation. All right.
Well, that's been John Wilson. High school football right around the corner. And, John, I can't wait coming up next month. But, hey, you have a wonderful America 250 as you and Ashley running the Peachtree Road Race this Saturday.
Hey, we'll do our best. We're going to try to get across the finish line and get a water before the sun gets too hot.
There you go. Well, thanks, John.
Thank you, Jeff.
All right, John Wilson. And thanks to everyone that was on the show today. Again, I'm Jeff Hood, Chastity Stewart. And, folks, be sure to get out there and enjoy Saturday, be patriotic, and show some love for our country, and make some memories on July 4th, America 250. This is Jeff Hood for Chastity Stewart. Have a great afternoon, and this has been the Marc McMain Show on True Country Q92.3.
Live from the Julio studio, it's WMOQ-FM, Boswick, Monroe, Madison, a Sugar Valley broadcasting station. True Country Q92.3. True Country, real talk.